All right, let's go. Quick card review session. So this expansion's got cards that can be used in multiple classes. So this is basically a hunter card and a druid card. All right, 3 for a 3/3. That's pretty good. Choose one, get beasts in your deck +1/+1. That's really good for hunter and probably all right for druid. Or transform into a friendly beast. So you can do this with the brand that spawns the King Crush if you have a singleton deck on the King Crush that it spawns. So it's 10 mana, deals 16 through 2 King Crushes. Pretty good. Actually, it's really good. Really good. Okay. Wand Thief. 1 for a 1/2 combo, discover a mage spell. Okay. I don't know how good this is. This is crazy. Yeah, okay. How do you combo on turn 1? So if this could be playable on turn 1, it'd be really crazy. How do you combo on turn 1? You don't. So you have to play this in some kind of like aggressive spam deck. So it's much more of a rogue card than a mage card. So in rogue, I don't know if you'd play this. I think it's a little weak. Little weak. With a coin. Rattlegore. So it's 9 mana, 9/9. When he dies, it becomes 8/8. Does it keep coming back? Like, does this thing actually have to die 9 times? Yes? Okay, well, that's pretty good then. Nature Studies. Discover a spell. Your next one costs 1 less. So this is like a forward innervate, basically. I'm sure this is going to be a good card, but I'm not sure what kind of combos you'd really want to pull off. Yeah, for sure it's a good card. Wretched Tutor. 2/5. Spellburst, deal 2 damage to all other minions. Neutral. Wow. Oh man, this card in Arena. Holy crap. Just nuke everything. Yeah, this seems like a really good Arena card. I don't know if it's good enough for other decks though. Transfer Student. It's in the game right now. I don't know what it does, but it's in some decks, which means it's pretty good. So, pretty good. I don't know what it does. Pretty good. Easy. Diligent Notetaker, 2 for a 2/3. Spellburst, return the spell to your hand. Again, Spellburst is just the first spell. A Spellburst is the first spell. Okay, so it's not every spell, it's the first spell. So you play this, and the first spell you play goes back to your hand and you play it again. Like, yeah. Seems alright. Seems alright. Yeah, pretty good. Goody 2 shields. 3 for a 4/2 Divine Shield. Spellburst, gain Divine Shield. Oh my god. Do you guys actually know the 3 mana 3/1 Divine Shield is constructed playable? It's not a bad card. It has been played before in actual constructed decks. So this is that card with +1/+1, and you later might get another Divine Shield for nothing. Guaranteed to cause salt. Okay. We're not doing star system this time. It's guaranteed to cause salt. It's a GCS, guys. GCS. The rating is GCS, guys. Turn 3 into turn 4 kings. It's so crazy. Alright. Cult Neophyte. 2 for a 3/2. Battlecry, your opponent's spell cost 1 more next turn. Unless there's some really specific spell combo, this does not seem that good. Lightning Bloom. 0 cost, gain 2 mana crystal this turn, overload 2. Well, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that this card is really broken. Really broken. Here's my basis. Every single card that's cost 0 mana has been played at some point. Now, here's the best part of that. 0 mana cost cards that are good as well as costing 0. Holy crap, dude. Save us. Save us from this. Right? This thing is insanity. You have to keep in mind, okay, so it's like old Innervate with Overload, but here's how most of us used old Innervate. You use Innervate, and then your opponent is dead. Alright? So that, like, next turn, where you have fewer mana crystals, it's like Keck W next turn, basically. Alright? So, the reason this card is even crazier is because it's not just a Druid card. It's a shaman card as well. Oh my god. All right. Now, it's possible that like combo decks might just get fleshed out by like a different archetype. I don't know. Like mid-range can flesh out combo. There can be anti-combo. Actually, it is an anti-combo Demon Hunter. So this card might not actually be like meta. There's a minuscule chance that this card is not meta. Okay. But the power level of this card, like how good this card is standalone, is like, oh my Jesus level power level. Okay, I can't think of a better card other than like Innervate that has been nerfed. But then this is also a shaman card, so technically it's better than pre-nerf Innervate. GC. It'd be GCS, not GSC. GCS, yes, guaranteed to cost salt. De-evolving missiles. Shoot 3 missiles at random enemies that transform them into ones that cost 1 less. Yeah. I mean... So it's like devolve, but it costs 1 mana, and it hits 3 at most, but it's random. Devolve was played. I mean, Devolve was played. I mean, we gotta call it what it is. Devolve was played. This seems about as good as Devolve. I mean, Devolve, it hits everything, which is better, but a 1 mana difference is really big when it goes from 2 to 1. Oh, it can hit the same minion 3 times. Oh, ooh. Okay, I don't know then. I think it might be worse than Devolve. But being worse than Devolve might still be fine, because again, Devolve was played. So possibly good card. Troublemaker, 8 for a 6/8. The end of your turn, summon 2 3/3 ruffians that attack random enemies. Isn't this like that Demon Hunter card that they nerfed? Like that 6/7 that hits for 6 constantly? Doesn't this hit for 6? It's too high casting cost? Well, it's a warrior card, so like, nah, not really. Dude, if you play this on an open board with warriors, you're done. Arena? Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be so crazy in Arena. First day of school. Add 2 random 1-cost minions to your hand. That seems good. Even bad 1-cost cards are pretty okay, especially if you play 2 of them. The main cost of a 1-cost card is that the value of it is weak. Like, okay, I guess a different take on it. Would 2 random 1-drops be better than a specific 2-drop in a deck? Yeah, it could be. Plus the fact that it is a spell and not a minion, it lets you use like some minion searching thingies. And it's a spellburst. Good call, guys. It's a spellburst. Any spell that doesn't suck is potentially playable because of the spellburst mechanic. Great call on that one. Onyx Mage Scribe, 6 for a 4/9. Wow. 4/9. That'll be like 6 for like a 5/8. Okay. It's like 6 for it's Boulder Fist stats, but it's way heavy on the health, and it's a dragon. Spellers add 2 random spells from your class to your hand. It's pretty good. I can see that. I can see that being played. Raze Freshman, 1 cost, 1/4. Should be fine. Combustion. Deal 4. Any excess damages both neighbors. I love positional cards. It's still 4 damage for 3 mana though, which is kind of weak. But I think it's pretty easy to hit 3 targets with it, making it kind of like a board clear. 3-cost board clear is going to see play. It's going to be meta dependent, but at the same time, when have we not had an aggro or like aggressive-ish mid-range meta? When have we ever not had that? Like almost never, right? And even against control, it's 4 for 3, which isn't great, but it's not bad. It can do 7 damage. Yes. It's not that it can do 7 damage. It can it's a minor board clear, basically. It's a good card. Headmaster Kel'Thuzad. 5 for a 4/6 spellburst. The spell destroys any minions, summon them. It's just your next spell. It's not a continuous effect. Okay, so you got to play this, and this needs to be on the board. So generally, you need to play this and then kill something. Same turn. So same turn kill makes it a bit challenging, but then like if you think about it, it's like you put this in a priest deck, this Shadow or Death, 7 mana, 4/6, and then you steal a card. kind of like Mind Control. Mind Control plus a 4/6 for 7 mana. It's like, yeah, that's pretty good. This plus coin, you know it's going to happen. Steel Dancer, 4 for a 4/4. Battlecry is a rogue and warrior card. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your weapon's attack. So what are the good weapons right now? We have the bomb one for 3, the anchor for 2, and the lackey for 2. Nah, this is not really good enough in the current warrior decks. The 5/2. Well, you wouldn't play this just because you have Galakron. The rogue quest weapon. Okay. Kingsbane. It seems like a really good card, but then when you think about it, the weapons that are being used don't make this good enough. Like, you really want a 4. If you're hitting a random 3, it's like pretty good, but you need to hit a 3 so consistently to use this. That deck doesn't really exist right now. That doesn't mean it won't exist next expansion. It could actually exist next expansion. So it could be a very good card. The power level is high, but the meta is not likely so far. Infiltrator Lillian. He's got the Scarlet Crusade Tabard. Is she in the Crusade thingy? Dust. 4 for 4/2 stealth. Death Rattle. Summon a 4/2 Forsaken that attacks a random enemy. Wait, actually does not seem very good. Wait, this doesn't seem... Where is this legendary? I mean, stealth's pretty good. So, like, yeah, okay, you can hit for 4, but... It's very aggro. Yeah, it's hyper aggro. Cycle of Hatred. Deal 3 damage to all minions. Summon a 3/3 spirit for every minion killed. I just feel like it's a powerful card, but it's a situational board clear, and it's going to screw up all your outcast stuff. So the fact that it's powerful doesn't really matter because it goes so against what Demon Hunter does. The card is really powerful, yes, but it screws up Demon Hunter. Like this would be insane if it was like a priest card. Like, how do you put this in the Demon Hunter deck? It just rips all your outcast. Like, it's pretty hard to play high-cost Demon Hunter cards to begin with, but like when you think about it, the high-cost Demon Hunter cards that people play are like, slam it on the board, let's go, right? This is like a pretty specific situation. It's tough. It's a very good card, but it's tough to use it in Demon Hunter. Got a Priest Warlock card. Oh, I know this one. If your hero's health changed this turn, destroy a minion. So basically, you gotta like lose health or gain health, but conveniently, that is exactly what Warlocks and Priests do. So, yeah. People said it's a better Warlock card than a Priest card. Yeah, maybe it is, because they did buff all the Priest removal. Priest removal is so crazy right now. Probably is a better Warlock card. Like, you do like Flame Imp and then play this. It's so insane, right? Bone Web Egg. 2 for a 0/2. Summon it 2/1 spiders. If you discard this, trigger its death rattle. Oh, I see. Okay. So it's basically a pretty weak egg, but it has a discard mechanic that's really strong. Yeah. You're gonna have to play discard for this. You can't play this. If you're not playing any discard mechanics, this card's not good enough. It doesn't like super suck, but it's not good enough. So you have to use some discard mechanics. Disciplinarian. Oh, dude, maybe we're related. Gandling. 4 for a 3/6. After you play a minion, destroy it and summon a 4/4 failed student. Well, that's insane. Yeah. If you're playing like token lackey crap or like Battlecry based stuff, which is like any kind of zoo deck, it's a tough sell in Priest though. But in Warlock, it's insane. Super insane. Guaranteed to cause salt. Flesh Giant. 8 for an 8/8. Costs 1 less each time your hero's health changed during your turns. Okay, so some people don't really get this card. Okay, so it only counts when your health changed during your turns. So like if your opponent hits you in the face, that doesn't count because that was not your turn. When your opponent attacked you, not your turn. Okay. Your turn is like you're playing Warlock and you tap. You lost health on your turn. So changed health on your turn. So if you tap, it reduces by 1. You play priest, you heal up, +1. Okay, yeah, okay. Well, that changed your health. Yeah. So with priest, you basically have to heal a whole bunch. With warlock, you have to heal a whole bunch and tap a whole bunch. I think it's a bit weak in priest because with priest, it's tough to heal many times. But in warlock, it's easy to heal or tap, right? It's just a lot easier of a requirement for warlocks. Cabal acolyte, 4 for a 2/6 taunt. Gain control of a random enemy minion with 2 or less attack spellburst. Well, that's pretty crazy. You'd have to play a lot of small spells though, because like if you think about this, if you're playing like a priest deck with like 3 and 4 mana cost spells, it's not going to work very well. It's still okay, but it's not going to work very well. Because on 8 mana, you're not really worried about a 2 or less attack card from your opponent's side. You really need to use this like turn 6 or under, so you're going to need to have a decent number of playable spells that are 2 cost or less. And then if you are playing a deck that meets that requirement, this card is insane. But if you have to like change your deck to meet this requirement, I don't know if it's good enough anymore, right? So we'll have to see. Mozaki, Master Duelist. 3/8 for 5. After you cast the spell, gain spell damage +1. Okay, so the idea is you play this and you get a bunch of spells, and then you get spell damage, and then you use the spells that actually do damage, and then you got spell damage, and then like, oh my god, this card is so good. Alright, so the problem with that is, that's not very consistent. And if you have a ton of small spells, you typically want to have multiple mechanics to dunk them. I think this card is really good because there's I tweeted about it. There's a 5-cost card, deal 5 damage if you have no minions in your deck, get a random 5-drop. Well, if you get that, you're real happy. Right? You're like, oh my god, it's so good. But if you're actually playing this in your deck, it's a pretty tough sell. Ace Hunter Kreen. 3 cost 2/4. Your other characters are immune while attacking. Yeah, so characters means your hero and all of your minions. Those are your characters. Overrated. Yeah, so basically, oh man. I was gonna say it's like giving all of your cards Divine Shield, but it's better than that, because if it doesn't get killed, it gives all your cards Divine Shield again next turn. There's no way this card is overrated. This card is not overrated. This thing is just crazy. Okay, there is a card that was one of the best cards in Arena when I played Arena. It was a 3-cost 2/4 neutral. Battle Cry, give a friendly minion immune this turn. 1 friendly minion. That card was really good. Okay, so this is not just all of your friendly minions, your hero as well, and it's not just for this turn. It's every turn until this is dead. This seems pretty good to me. I'm sorry. I think this card is going to be in every single hunter deck. Demon Hunters, however, I think there's going to be some Demon Hunters without it. Ceremonial Maul. I just want to add the new like, what are the I was going to say user interface. It's not a user interface. The new design for the weapons, because they didn't used to look like this, right? Like this is like a new art for a weapon card. Yeah, the border. The new border art for the weapons is spectacular, right? Amazing. It's so much better. Some of the other weapons, like the old weapons, they have a very thin border, and you often can't tell what class that weapon comes from, right? So with this one, when they put 2 classes, it's very visible. And for this specific weapon, it's actually like, look at the colors. It's not just that it's like red and yellow. It's like, okay, maybe less so the red, but the yellow's dead on, right? So such a nice thematic fit. You know, when we talk about like custom cards, and it's like, man, that's the one, and like the card might be garbage, but like it's themed so well. Well, this is what this is. This is Blizzard theming the hell out of a card. All right. All right, what does it do? Ceremonial Maul. 3-cost weapon, 2/2, spellburst, summon a student with taunt and stats equal to the spell's cost. Okay, that's really good. So the reason this is really good, particularly for Paladin, is because the spellburst mechanics' only real weakness is that you can't afford to play the spell the same turn you play the card. And with that, all the spellburst stuff is on minions. So if you play a spellburst minion and you can't play a spell, your opponent's going to try to kill that minion, right? And that's going to happen a lot. So that's why spellburst is not guaranteed to happen. You still need a spell, and you typically need a spell on the same turn, and those two things are pretty tough. But with a weapon, yeah, okay, your opponent can have ooze or whatever, but it's far less likely that your weapon gets removed by an ooze than you having to wait another turn for the spellburst. So the consistency on this card, I think, is going to push it into the meta somehow. Totem Goliath. 5 for a 4/5, Death Rattle, summon all 4 basic totems, overload 2. Well, we just played a totem deck, and that would seem pretty good in the totem deck. I mean, the truth is, let's be real. The first expansion of the year is relevant because we just deleted half the cards in Standard. And the last expansion of the year is relevant because they just make it really powerful, so it's relevant. The middle expansion's a bit of a mixed bag, and often a lot of the decks from the previous meta just get modified. There's often not that many entirely new decks. Are we finished decks? Okay, we're done decks. Okay, we're done. Anyway, so with that in mind, I think this would fit pretty well in the Totem Shaman I was just playing, right? I think it would. I would play this. This is a good card in the Totem Shaman deck. So there's a good chance the deck's going to make it. That's one of the best decks right now. And if it gets a card that it would use, it's probably going to be a little bit better. And it's an aggro deck. It's pretty hard to knock out aggro decks. I don't think this card is like super crazy, but I think it's going to be played. Glide. Oh boy, I tweeted this one. Shuffle your hand into your deck. Draw 4 cards. Outcast. Your opponent does the same. Okay, so this card, I'm not sure if it's like super good, but oh my god, does it counter combo decks? Like, oh my god. Oh my god, right? So like, if this card is average, then it's going to be played in every single Demon Hunter deck. And I'll explain why. A lot of the meta comes down to pretty close matches, so any card that you can basically delete your opponent is going to be played. It's the same reason people play stuff like weapon removal. Like the cards that have weapon removal, they're not very good cards. You're talking about ooze, 2 mana 3/2, right? Or like Harrison Ford, right? People don't play those cards because they're good. People play those cards because if you go up against a weapon, you almost always win, right? So with this card, if you go up against a heavy control deck or a combo deck, you almost always win. So unless the card is actually terrible, then everyone's going to play it. So is this card actually terrible? Harrison Ford? Exactly. Along with Chewbacca. Don't you guys play Hearthstone? Come on, guys. All right. Okay. So shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 4 cards. You basically can't play too many slow cards with this. If you have one other card in your hand, it would be 4 cost, draw 3. That's really good. You have 2 other cards, it would be 4 cost, draw 2. 4 cost, draw 2 is no good. But if you remove 1 card from your opponent, that's fine. Okay, the outcast might be a disadvantage. We have to think about this angle. If this ends up being the leftmost card in your hand, you have no choice but to cast it with outcast. And if your opponent is playing an aggro deck and has no cards left, playing this is terrible. You might create a situation where you might do 4 mana, draw 4, but it'll give your opponent like 3 cards. But then at the same time, Demon Hunters have a lot of cards that do damage right away. And drawing 4 cards with 6 mana left might just kill your opponent, so that might not matter very much. I've thought about this. I think this card will be played a lot. Yep. I think it's going to be in almost every single Demon Hunter deck, if not every single Demon Hunter deck. Philosophy. Nice spelling. This is a Demon Hunter and Warlock card. Costs 1. It's a spell. Remember spellburst. Copy the lowest cost demon in your hand. Outcast. Give both +1/+1. This is pretty interesting. If you think about the shuffle quest lock, you get a slightly bigger taunt and spellburst, but if you use your hero power on a demon, it's going to be 0 cost. It's by default going to be the lowest one. So if with quest warlock you hit a demon with your hero power, you're going to have 2 gigantic 0 cost demons. It's pretty nice. It's a bit of a weird one though. You're going to want to use this on something that you modify. It's not really good enough otherwise. Actually, maybe it is because of spellburst. There's a lot of potential things that might work here. I think spellburst can work. I think spellburst can make this work. I think it's a pretty good card. Bit of a tough include, but a pretty good card. Oh, that's the last card. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll be revealing the rest pretty soon.